What's up, everybody out there in TV land? How you doing today? How you doing? How you doing? It's a good day. It's Wednesday. Yay! It was garbage day. Today was a trash day, but in a good way. Yo, what's up, Texas Mofo chiming in? I love this day. Yeah, I was having a little bit of fun with everybody today. We have Kate. What's up, Kate and Orlando? Scarlet Fever. Uh-oh. Oops. They're here. They're here. Oh, yeah. You guys are having too much fun. That's right. That's right. It's coming at you both ways. Not a good, I love a good story. Let's see how this one ends up. 4 lights. Someone says there are 4 lights. Is that it's true? And what if there are actually really 5 lights? Yeah, Aldi are coming in, and you can start saying hello to each other. It's no longer so scary. And then we've got the king of flavor, the defender of flavor, I should say, the knight supreme, Lord Sandwich. Yeah, greater must handsome. Yeah, yeah. We're so how's everybody doing on this wonderful Wednesday? Good to see you all here. Of course, I was dropping the Art of War, and at first I didn't pick like a person and anything like that. I was dropping it as our quote today in the chat, and switching gears here real quick. We've got Scalpel Zero, our waifu, our resident house waifu. I'm gonna make me probably today, so I'll have her out here tomorrow. At least as good as I can get it in this game. So, let's see here. Working in the studio. So yeah, so I'm gonna continue to go up and ink up this character outfit and gear reference, and put together the reference sheet, make it all nice and neat, and I'm going to save that as a different file. So I've got a master reference sheet. I'm going to color it up too, so that we've got our base color palette before other colors apply. Of course, I've got to frequently click back and forth between work and chat because I don't have my phone today. That thing is charging. It is on its last. Again, it was a really cheap phone. It was super cheap. So it's all good. Oh yeah, but I forgot background music. Of course. So I forgot. Let's see. Nope, that's the wrong button. Let's go ahead and copy and to the comments. See, now I got to do this the hard way. Oh my goodness. Oh, why am I live on Tank Gaming? Okay, no. Yeah, delete on YouTube. So that was the one I meant to do. There we go. Over on X. Oh no, it's not. I gotta pay my bill. Dang it, man. It's rough. Got work on the horizon, but we still have it right now. Dang it. Ah! Okay. Moving on. All right. Let's see here. So jump. Caps lock was on. Jump. In POCPIT. Fix that spelling real quick. Yeah. Link in there. Boom. Do what I was going to do. Go to YouTube. Grab that link. Put it in the browser where I'm logged in on the proper YouTube organization. And my audio is cutting in and out again. Let's see what I can do here. Okay. Set. Okay. Hopefully that works. That seems to be working a little bit better. Yeah. That is working a little bit better. I've got some denoising issues when it's that low, so It was my denoiser settings. So hopefully that is better and the audio quality is not awful. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness gracious. Yo, what's up? Dropping. Heck yeah, dude, tonight it's Hump Day. That's right. What a great show, too. That's a good one. Neon Revenant. Yes, definitely sign up on IndieGoGo. Sign up, sign up, sign up, sign up, sign up. Then we're going to ask if you want to join our company mailing list. Like, we're going to send out, you know, in part of the IndieGoGo update, we're going to send out like, hey, do you want to join this other list? You know, so that way it's a 100% white list. People absolutely opt in. They definitely want this, and whatnot. Yeah, it's been doing that, and I've got a noisy fan in the background, so I'm trying to make sure that doesn't get out there, Texas. Yeah, it's annoying. All right. So yep, this is what I was doing. I was just getting in here and doing a simple, like real, just kind of clean, like line ink, even though I'm using a pen that would normally be used for like line weights and stuff, but yeah, it's reference art. Oops. So, and I'm going to further refine the design. Anyways, you know, I should be using another pen. Let's see here. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that one works fine. I can just go in and clean it up. It'll be a lot easier and a heck of a lot faster. The wrinkles here, because it does bunch up a little bit there. Yeah, kind of like scribbling these lines, and then I'll use them as like a general guide to add a bunch of wrinkles and stuff to show that this has been all sorts of pushed up, although I should push it up better, but whatever. This is reference. We're going to be real light on the line weight anyways. Let's go check on the chat. Okay, good chat. Oh man. All right, and we're going to add in the texture. Nice and somewhat neat. I think I have the stabilization turned. Yeah, I have it turned all the way off. I was like, ooh, that line was a little wonky. That's okay. Sometimes you just got to get in there and work it raw dog. All right. Oop, that one was a little bit far, but that's okay. Should push it up more. There we go. Add one more layer on the outside just for a good choice. Right. And then to draw the sleeve opening here. Right. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Right. Draw the inside of the sleeve. And then we're going to just connect the dots. Right. I should be working the opposite direction. I should just flip the picture over, but I kind of want to practice a little bit because, you know, you can always clean up production art for art books and stuff like that, right? So I kind of want it to be a bit diagrammy right there. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn on my anti-dead air. I did. Let's pick, we're making some stuff. So let's go ahead and listen to an older Legion Zero song. Let's listen to Alter in the background. So go ahead and pop that up. I think that should be okay. You guys let me know if that's too loud, too quiet. What I should do, you know what I really should do? I should throw a playlist on in the background. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break real quick. Okay. That's right. That one is, I was tracking down every single PDF file on my computer. There are thousands of them. All right, so let's go here. Tank Ferret Art. Oh, there we go. Legion Zero music. I'm going to grab all the Legion Zero and all the Lady Serpent. Whoa, that's my goodness. And then we're going to go ahead and turn off the music there. Make sure that that's pumping out. There we go. So it's already going through it. So I'm sorry about that, guys. I thought that was turned off. Yo, Marinus, what's up, my ninja? Good to see you, dude. Of course. Oh, yeah, that's what I meant to do. Oh, my goodness gracious. So I had to wait for the thing to load through my paranoid browser. All right. Pin that message to the top of the chat. So if anybody wants to jump in, the cockpit doors are open. Jump into, grab a seat, navigate, co-pilot, whatever you want to do. Let's get it done. All right, let me get back to this. Everybody say hello, hello, hello. Yes, the great and mighty. Now, Gemini Crusaders, man. Got to get you up here sometime. Come talk. We need to talk. We need to talk about your amazing project. Like, I've seen too many good projects get slept on. And this is actually it brings me back to my original point of, yeah, I've been putting up these Sun quotes from The Art of War, and there's a reason to that. There is a reason to that, and it really plays into that when we turn sourcing your logistical materials, right? What does it take for you to produce your book, right? Or game, or whatever it is, and where you source that. Now, and I'm gonna really get into this again when we come back to this point, because I'm going to be releasing all of these, The Art of War, line by line, and then as an exercise, most 99% it's for myself, but I'm willing to do my workout in public. I'm going to apply it to the world of comics, right? All the way up to the final book, The Use of Spies. And we'll talk about some of the stuff that has transpired over the years in this space, right? We'll talk about that stuff and my perspective on it. I know that I'm going to have a lot of folks out there that are wildly going to disagree with me, but I'm okay with this. We can disagree and still be friends. Just don't be a dick about it. Get these lines settled in here. Yeah, I know they're just nice and clean and whatnot. Almost want to, like, I don't want to start over, but I don't mind going back and cleaning up a little bit and get these lines in here. See, that's obscured almost. We're going to put a little bit of a line right there. When I color it in, it'll be all good. All right. The front of her lower abdominal pad goes down and extends below the belt. Check out the chat real quick. Yo, K-pop. Yes, good. I'm glad. And anytime. So we don't stand on ceremony here. You never know who's going to show up. you never know who's going to show up. This isn't an interview show, so we don't announce special guests. You just come on and we talk about business, and then you can point them back to your interview and put some timestamps in the comments, right? And because like the way that I'm structuring our hangout is that because this is digital bullpen, right? We work here. We'll talk a little shop, and I think when we talk that kind of stuff, that we know our logistical lines, we know our lines of commerce, we know our lines of customer satisfaction and all this other stuff. When we talk in those terms, I think it gives a little bit of customer reassurance, because I got a really, really tiny channel here, but I have a very high turnover in terms of sales when people come on and hang out and talk about this stuff. And I think it's because through our conversation we give reassurance and communicate a degree of responsibility, right? Not liability, but responsibility. And I think it's really good, and I want to get some more people up here. Plus, I like to talk shop. Y'all know me. I love talking shop. I love talking the craft of the business of getting artwork out there, whether it's for profit or not, because I sometimes do, I do artistic ventures that are without profit. I do it just for this art, for the sake of art. Dang it, I totally messed up on that. So let's see here. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Where is that? Okay, good. Set on to repeat all. Oh, let's put it on shuffle too. And I'm getting some more. Talking to a couple of bands about using their art and doing the same kind of deal I'm doing with Legion Zero. And like, hey, I'll direct them to your store. Legion Zero, he doesn't have his store up and running yet, but it's in the works. And dude, it's gonna be some cool products, man. All right, so we are going to be doing custom guitars with or without accoutrements, right? They strings, pickups, and stuff like that. But dude, they are cool. They are cool, and we're gonna get it to the point where he's gonna start taking orders, because we think that, granted, this on a crowdfunding campaign, this would be a really pricey item, but and we're working on this right now because it's just cool, right? It's the factor of cool. And plus, with the custom guitar, just like when you buy an original piece of art, I mean, dude, like, yeah, no, it comes with everything, right? It comes with all the toppings. So you get, what if we got posters, trading cards, bookmarks, books, doesn't matter. It's coming with it. You're buying a deluxe edition that comes with a one of a kind thing. But dude, it's so cool. It's so cool. And I'm like, I can't wait, man. We're going to be doing because he was doing this just so he could have some cool guitars in his recording studio. And I was like, bro, like, you're doing basic stuff, and we're talking about like throwing in like some neon looking lighting with a 4-button touch control already wired and ready to go. So when your guitar is plugged in, it's fueled up and ready to go. And it's really, really, really cool stuff. And I was like, dang, that's going to be expensive. But we're already talking with other artists about sending off the guitar to the artist and then having them do it up like special. And really, it's them getting funky with the cheese whiz is what it is. Like they get all artsy and creative, and we cry havoc and let slip the dogs and roar. upon that wonderful piece of merch. Yeah. Yes, good. I wanted to see K-pop's link in the chat out there because y'all rock. There it is. So, this is a lot of folks talk about the rising tide operation. A lot of folks out there, they really do it, and I like to support those who do it. Ooh, that is all right. I gotta check my reference real quick. So that's that. The armor. Yeah, okay. So the bottom of the all right. The bottom of the undershirt pokes out more. She wears her pants as low cut. So the bottom of this undershirt here, which is an under overshirt, kind of like what they have in the modern day military, right? I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit. I'm gonna have it be thin line, jazz it up, and all that jazz. There we go. That looks better. It was bugging me. So where was I? Dang it. Like that moment in Inside Out for the train, it just crumbles into the crevasse and the thought is gone. A little out of sorts today. I need to get caught up on sleep. So I'm going to do Omers tonight, but I am not going to stay super late because I have to be a responsible adult and actually get sleep. There we go. It's good to have your reference pictures with plain textures and stuff. I never should have started this with a variable brush, a variable nib. I should have just gone with the consistent because that's one of the reasons why I use drafting pens most of the time. Most of this stuff I've done has been design in nature. I grew up doing tile and cabinetry, so the nature of my basic illustrations, of course I did what every other little kid does. I draw sunshine, rainbows, family pet, and whatnot. But most of my early stuff was like diagrams. I learned how to do carpentry diagrams by the time I was 8. And I did electric circuits at a young age as well. Mostly because I had this book called The Bumper Book of Things a Boy Can Make. And that was a good one. All right, so you know what? We're going to grab our shape tool. We're going to grab an ellipse. We're going to have it be that line. We're going to have it be that thickness. And I think, yeah, put it there. That's close enough. We're just going to angle it just a little bit. Boop. There we go. Good. And we're done. Back to our regular pen. I think it's a little small. Meh. It's fine. So we've got her patch here, which that one is the Scalpel series, but above it is a rocker, or I should say is a bridge that says prototype. So, and then I'm going to put a rocker on the bottom, and that it's going to have the number letter designation. So, gosh, in real life, this is where I would be using a French card. I'm doing stuff like this. Let me go check in on the chat real quick. Everybody's chill, kind of chilling. Let me see what this one is. This one is the Lady Serpent, the Embers by the Lady Serpent, which is a different endeavor from my bud. Yeah. So this one we're going to give some thickness to, right? Because it does have some thickness. It does dip down in the back here, but it does have some thickness, as this is like the padding. So we're going to go ahead and put some padding lines right there. Yep. So I think it faces us right about there. It comes around like this. Bunch it up a little bit, give it some shape. All right. And then it's just smooth material from what you can see from that angle right there. Let's get on to these. Let's continue with this area. Put in these. These are the ammunition magazine pouches for the. What did I give her? I gave her the the Mark 14 Gauss pistol. So that's this sucker right here. Oh, am I even in the right studio? Okay, good. Yeah, that's the Mark 14 Gauss pistol. You do like her Gauss pistols. It is her preferred equipment to take. So, plus I have to practice drawing this stuff. So, the character sheet is a great way for your artist to gain familiarity with the subject. Because you may know how to draw all this stuff in general, but then you've got to put it all together. See how it fits. Right? So, these are the we're gonna do it like that. Let's see here. I'm gonna wrinkle this. I'm gonna put this, and we're just gonna wrinkle all the way across these fingers down here. She is making a pointed fist. And down to that wrist bone right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a crease. I'm going to stress this up to the knuckle, which will give us a strong defined foreknuckle. The middle knuckle will be a little less defined. And then we're going to wrinkle it up right there and give it a nice little bit of glove texture. All right, back to the magazines. Each one of these magazines holds 30 5mm proprietary ferrous material, kind of like they're pellets, really. They are made out of different materials. The ones that she's brought with her this time are ferrous tungsten alloy rounds. So they can be magnetically manipulated. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Which makes them fun because they're tungsten and they are flying at a few thousand feet per second. These are powerful little Gauss pistons. If I had to put them into Cyberpunk 2020 RPG terms, what do you think? I would probably say that they do like 5d6 plus 2. So just getting winged with one of these would be just short of critical damage. That would disable or that would disable a hit target zone in the terms of the game Cyberpunk 2020, published by Artel Soria, one of my favorite RPGs. One of my favorites out there. I love it. Okay, there we go. I was like, no, it got quiet. I have no anti-dead noise. I'm ruined. Everyone's gonna find out that I'm a phony. A big fat phony. That is leading the wrong direction. It's not pulling properly. Ooh, that's just the wrong thing altogether. So I need this. Be pulling like that. Ooh, there you go, autosave. Good. That'll do, autosave. That will do. Pulling on that loop. Move this up and over. It's going to be pulled a little bit over that. Lead it on down. Lead this one down, all the way down. There we go. Yeah, I found that in order to keep the conversation going, if I get zoomed in on a subject, I just start talking about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Because, you know, why not? We're here to work and here to talk about work. So I think it's on theme. I think it's on theme. Okay, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to connect that stuff here in a minute. Get that sucker. There we go. All right, and this is textured. So this is textured, but it's textured in two ways. So I have to fix this. This is a high-speed belt. It's pretty darn durable. It's one thing. When you have a durable character, you have to give them durable gear. If you're in a science fiction universe, which this is science fiction. I do play with it a little bit. I can't say that it's purely hard science fiction, but it's heavy into the hard science. It does take a flight into fancy, though, because, you know, it's a story, not a textbook. All right. Let's get this lined in here. A reinforcing line on the outside of the belt. These two structures working in different directions actually gives the belt a lot of durability. So that does help out quite a bit. All right. And the pants are poking out right above that, actually. Right above that belt line, which I'm just going to have to color that one in. It'll just really only be noticeable with the color reference. And that's why color reference is important. You know, breaking it down like this, all that fun stuff. Because I've got to put a belt loop right here. Put a belt loop right there. And that's all it's going to show is that little goop right there. Belt loop right here. It's got to be a belt loop right here. Goop, belt loop. I know, like, and then you zoom out and you're like, who the F cares? It's like, no, this is reference time. So, yeah, we have to get. All right, this needs to swing out just a little bit further. There we go. And she got them poopy pants. But we're going to draw the poopy pants after we draw some of the materials here. So this is actually going to continue to droop downward and impinge on the clothing. And pants are poofy because one of the purposes of a military or combat uniform is to break up your silhouette. Right? It's got to break up the silhouette of the person using it. All right. We're going to put this here. And then you'll notice it's got a secondary little bit of flap. That's because the buttons are underneath or inside this upper flap, as to keep them from getting caught on anything, getting broken off, or getting your person hindered. So all things for the purpose. She's going to a combat zone. They're going to equip her in combat gear appropriately. But don't worry, folks. Don't worry. She'll be naked and covered in mud before you know it. It'll be a good time. It'll be the best time. This is going to be the best proto cyberpunk book of the year. Guarantee it. I was just talking to a neighbor about the breakdown of the story, and I'll tell you what, homie's mind was blown. He was like, dude, why you do this to me? Why do I have to wait? I said, so it can be good. You want it to be good. All right, I'm going to check on the chat just as soon as I finish this line right there. We can zoom out a little bit and see where we are at. Real quick, I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to grab this folder, throw it in that folder. And then we're going to grab all of this. And we're going to put it in that folder. Right in the bottom of that folder, right? So that way I can hide it and actually see where we're at. Stretch for a second. So that's how far I've made it. Ah, buddy. Let's actually let's make another folder in here. We're gonna grab that, put it there, grab all of this stuff, shove it in there, and then we're gonna hide this one. We can see our gear and see how far we've come. So, yep. Okay, because that first shot comes through right there, and actually it's going to break open some batteries. It's going to bust right through the batteries. I was looking at it, and I was like, holy moly, that one shot back here, because, remaster, right? Which means also adjust fire on the way. So, nope, the page before this one. Yep, this one. So that shot right here, plop right through. So we're hitting right through the lower part of the breast. Oops, that's the wrong button. Nope, that's the wrong button too. I keep hitting the wrong button. We go back to this one, and we look right to that part. It's right at the top of these batteries, right there. Probably hit this inside battery, bust it all out. So now I'm going to put a little bit of an explosion. Oh, no, page before this one. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Oh, that's the wrong one. Anyways, too. We're going to move this one up. Oh, that's the wrong one, too. Oh, my goodness gracious. Like, dude, for real. What the heck is wrong with me? Okay, there we go. Now I can go. Come on, let's go back to that page. Right there. Yep. Good. Yeah, so now I'm going to add a little explosion, some sparks heading out. It's going to be more obvious that she was hit, which is cooler in my opinion. Got to change the silhouette. She's got the baggy sleeves now, and the baggy pants are baggy it up a little bit. Same boots, so that's all good. and the gloves are the same. So it's a little bit of adjustment. Plus, I got to shorten the hair. I forgot. At this point, her hair is much shorter. So that was a little bit of a continuity screw up on my end. So fixing it. All right. Yo, what is up? Peter, dude, good to see you, man. Good to see you, dude. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no, I always did appreciate that aesthetic. Like Frank Miller, like wrote a masterclass on silhouettes with Sin City. You know, once a month. This is my soda ration for the whole month. I'm gonna consume it in 3 days. Why? Because I don't care. It's a treat. Anyway. So yeah, that's where we're standing at right now. We're gonna go ahead and take our first break. I gotta go check in at the home office, and I'm gonna go do some stretches, some rotations. I got in a good workout today. Yeah, I moved a bunch of heavy wood in my backyard, so whew, that's good. I had to grab a shower and get changed before coming on the show, and I think that's always a good morning, right? All right, everybody. I will see you here in back at. Oh, let's see here. It's almost. Let's see here. What it's 3 o'clock, almost on the week. I'll see you back here at 3:05. How's that sound? Yeah, we'll do that. All right, here back at 3:05 EST slash 7:05 GMT. All right, and I'll see everybody here in just a little bit. Until then, hang tight. Make sure you go follow me on Twitch if you use the Twitch. And I'll be back in a minute. I'm looking for the button. Where's the button? There's the button. All right. Yo, hey, everybody out there. Hold on. Let me fix that just a little bit further. A little bit further. Right, drop it down to about right there. Yeah, that should be okay. That should be okay. Yo, what's up? Giant T-Rex, my son, my eldest son, who is going to be 15 years old in just 18 days. 18 days. What a trip. What a trip, man. I'll give it a shout out. All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. Let's switch gears. Get back in the studio here. Back working on this reference art. Gotta get this done. Gotta get it done, man. So let's go ahead and bring back up our pencil layer. So we can see what the heck we're doing. Get right back into this, man. Texture this up a little bit. All right, take this up just a little bit. Simple line art, but definitely need it. We'll clean it up further as we go, but we'll get it rolling here. Let's go ahead and rotate the canvas a bit. Yep, just kind of get a little loosey-goosey in here, you know what I mean? Get some shapes communicated. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and drop these boots down. She loves these boots. They are terrible boots. She loves them. Because they are clod hoppers. They are not quiet boots. So they're loud. They're not sneaky, and she's very sneaky. There is a compulsion to be the best, to train in unfavorable circumstances. That's how you train, right? You train in the unfavorable circumstances. All right, pick that up just a little bit. That's fine. Just pick it up just a little bit. There we go. There we go. We'll go ahead and give this a second lip. There, a little tighter in. Right. And whatnot. Check on chat here in a minute. All right. All quiet on the Western Front. All right. And then loopsing a little bit right there. This material bunches up. So imagine it as some microscopically woven nylon kind of material here. Very durable. Very, very durable. They're terrible boots, but they're tough as nails. And that's, I would say, it's probably the reason why she prefers to wear them the most. Pardon me. Gosh, that's terrible. That's supposed to be like round. So I'm going to grab a tool and we are going to right there, grab it all the way around there, grab it right there, move on to the background, and go ahead and do a free transformation on it. Pull that in just a little bit. That should be fine. That's all right. And then we're going to do a scaling of that. We're going to scale it down just a little bit. Back within our original parameters. Now that we have the proper shape, account for my bad pencils. Boop. Good enough. Because in the middle of that, we are going to smuggle a company logo. So, that's good enough. Good enough. Should have used stencils, but whatever. If I was working on this one analog, I definitely would use stencils. To get that shape nice and neat. People give Mike S. Miller a hard time for using stencils, but I'm like, but that's what you're supposed to do. There's nothing wrong with it. No. Just like if you're using 3D assets, that's part of commercial art, man. Y'all have seen, I don't regularly use 3D assets myself because that's just not my style. But in commercial art, remember, folks, there is no cheating. There are only results. Right? So come down there. It's outline the little connector bit of the boot. Right? It's a little buffer zone. We're going to draw that in a little bit, fix that up. Count for bad penciling with good design. All right, good logic flow. We're going to shore up. That's not subtle. So we're going to bring it in and shore up that line. All right, whittle at it and then come back. This is one of the reasons why I do like looking digitally, though, is that if I make a mistake, it's super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Fix. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? Tell you what, Vern. You get in there and you get on yourself a line. Well, I'll tell you what, Vern. It's an adventure. That has a connector like that. It's got a connector like that. This side of the pill is actually the latch. That's the lock release. Right? For the flap. Another thing about these boots is that the auto fit function did not work very well because they were trying to go for this whole seamless BS, and didn't turn out too well for them. So, is what it is. Of course, you wouldn't see it from this angle because it would be completely obscured by the other side. Like I said, they were going for like a seamless thing. So, all right, let's get this glove done. This is the cuff, the sleeve cuff. Because, yeah, you can see that she's got her glove down, but if we go look at the underwear layer of this picture, we see that one glove is pulled up while the other one is down. That's what it looks like pulled up. You got the same thing going on for socks underneath, pulled up and down. These are often used in hazardous material stuff. You wear them under your pants, you pull them up. It's a case. Also used in kitchens because hot oil, hot grease, hot soup, all of that hot sucks. I could tell you from experience. In fact, I was just talking about that with one of the code developers for this world just yesterday. There's a lot of kitchen and food service experience. And so we were talking about why it is silly that the Starbucks people want the right to wear blue jeans, because that is about one of the dumbest things that you can wear in the kitchen. We're just gonna, oh, that's maybe a little too much, but we're just, oh, dang it. Just gonna pull those lines in. It's funny, when I'm working like this, I'm basically working with like a drafting mechanical pencil. That's one of the things I want to get, man. I'm trying to come up with ways to bring in some cash legitimately. One, I want to start getting these merch, get this merch out there, because it's good quality stuff, dude. This is stuff that I would buy. In fact, I will be purchasing this stuff to wear on a rag. Not just while I'm on stream, right? I'm getting the hats. Getting hats. Okay. So let's take a look there. Go ahead and hide that. Wait. Ah, dang it. I did it.
No.
Which layer? Is it that one? It's that one. Okay, so I got to do a little surgery. We're going to grab everything over here. And we're going to nuke it. We're going to bring it up to this one. We're going to paste it and merge it. And then, okay, good. Now when I remove this, we should see, oh, see, I forgot a line. Did I forget it all the way? I forgot it all the way. Okay, so cool. It helps if I'm just paying attention to what I'm doing. But, you know, then again, I might actually be accused of doing my job. So bring that down right there. Have the lip and that. Bring this one in, that. Put a little thing. Well, actually, it needs to be sized. So I think the whole thing needs to be sized. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to grab it. We're going to size it up. Because once again, folks, there is no cheating in commercial art. There are only results, etc., yada, yada. All right. Grabbed a little too much over here. Ungrab that. That was supposed to be the other way around. Not grab everything. I wanted to ungrab. Ungrab it just a little bit more. Grab a little more. There we go. That looks good. Okay. Transform this. Let's scale this sucker up. Prime size. Put it in its place. This whole assembly is too low. Where can I? Okay, I think I can do like this. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna grab this. Oops. We're gonna grab this whole assembly like that. And then we're going to transform it, but we're going to do a free transform. Free transform. Pull it up a little bit and see if we can fix this height issue. Okay, I can only do it so much before. Okay, so we're going to say okay. We're going to add this area to it. We're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to do a free transform, and we're going to kind of do a hokey pokey with this thing a little bit. And that's about right. It's about right. So I'm just going to say, okay, close enough. Close enough. Clean that up a little bit. Bring that in. Then shade it back down and clean it up. Good, clean reference art, always important. All right, lay that down, clean it up. There we go. Cool. And then finish making our game boot. All right, zoom back out, check our work again. All right, so we've got, I got most of it out, but let me zoom in here. And clean up, connect that line, connect that line, connect that line, connect that line. That one's connected. All right, let's start making our way around this hideous object, making sure that all of our avenues are locked in. Right, because next phase on this would be coloring, and it does help if I can use a loop select tool. It really does. We're going to go ahead and double up on this line too, right there. It does help if I have clean lines, especially just at least on the external, because then I can just use that as a mask. I come in and clean up the whole shebang, right? So this has got to go like that, and so that, and it's going to come up. We're going to see a little bit more of that as it comes up over and around to the back. We're going to texture this in as well, because that's just fun to ink, like that. Okay. Add in a little bit of that right there. And look mostly good, right? So clean up these lines on these grenades. I know. I should just repaint that entire area so that way it's more consistent, but I gotta get this done. I'm just gonna clean up certain sections for clarity. Like the grenade pins. Oops. That's fine. I can have it otherwise. It's supposed to have one anyways. Grenade pins or powder pins are pretty thick. Very durable. For good reasons. All right. All right, so we've got that. We're following this line all the way around, taking a look, making sure, oops, see, we had a little gap there. Got a little gap there. Just fill that stuff in. That looks like it might be a gap, so when in doubt. Little gap there. Little gap there. Fill that in, make it nice. Little gap there. Put the gap right there. So it's exciting, isn't it? Let's see here. It says, I tried a curved stencil to practice cross-hatching for inking the Skull and Bones sketch, but I still haven't figured it out. Dude, it's difficult because you're really, at that point, you're drafting. And drafting is its own artistic skill set. It is the super technical side of stuff. So have that. Put some stressing on that so that way got some texture to play with. When we do this, when we do this, when we do, can you do? We're gonna really slop it in a little bit here because these are eternal. Oh, there's a gap. There's a gap. Make sure that we fill those gaps in there, right? Doop. Going around. Oh, I gotta do that holster over there. So, and that I'm gonna need to take a look at the weapon real quick. Okay, so it is. Top of the weapon goes like that. That leads into the top. It's a real simple geometric design. However, it doesn't use the same kind of firing mechanism. So it's a little different. All right. Put the other over that. Have it brush it around. This is going to come around like that. Come back like that. Really not going to see a whole lot of detail, but you got to make sure that these are long enough to accommodate the long pistol. It is a long pistol. I thought of even incorporating like the extra battery storage into the holster, but I don't think Zero would ever go for that. I think that would just annoy her by throwing off the weight. You know how machines can get. They're very particular. Which is why Zero loves cliches. Because when it's a cliche, when it's a stereotype or something like that, it means the human is predictable. And humans are generally predictable by her observation. Okay. I don't think that stands out enough. I'm going to take this whole assembly right there. We're going to tilt it up. Oh, come on with the autosave. There we go. We're going to tilt it up. Oops, too far. We're going to put some stress on this, so show that this is impinging on the cloth. Right, that impinges on the cloth. This impinges on the cloth. Right. So the wrinkle there. We'll call it that. And then hide our pencils from ourselves. We clean this up a little bit. So I feel like I should decorate those. But for now, we're just going to keep them chill and separated and whatnot. So I think that's good for that. All right, let's bring up the other one and get the other side done. Boom, boom. Come on, let's go. Yo, what up? Slop it in. That's right. Yo, J-Bot, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, link is pinned to the top of the chat, guys. If you want to jump in here, get up into the cockpit, come get some work done with me. I'm going to go for about another half an hour, then I'm calling it for the day. I've got busy things to do in the real world. All right, on to the back. I guess the first thing that we go ahead and dot in here is the the holding mechanisms were the two Wildemaster oscillating kukris, high frequency oscillating kukri that she has on her back. Yep. Quality material. Developed by the Consumer Products Development Initiative. Oh yeah. You gotta love that stuff. Imagine, all you have to do is come up with an idea. Then you contact your local Consumer Products Development Initiative representative. Submit your idea with some easy to file forms, a computer assisted, of course, to help you through any of the tricky processes. And then you sit back, you see if your idea is approved, then it is developed and it goes to market. And you sit back, enjoy collecting a paycheck for as long as that product is made. Oh yeah. Oh, one of the a very significant job in the United States at this time is people that all they do is they come up with an idea. Everyone is Ron Popeil, potentially. No? It's going to be mostly flat, so let's not end this detail a little bit. Gosh, this is one of those things where I wish I was doing this manually, right? Where I was doing this analog, because it's so much easier to get in crisp lines using a real pen. Like, digital has its advantages, but it also has its disadvantages. So, yep. Boop, 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 all the way home. Cool. And we got the bottom hilt, which also acts as an actuator switch. Now you don't really see it because you got to twist this knob at the bottom to turn the device on. But Zero does it by flicking her pinky against it. I do show that in one scene. I do show that in a scene, not early on, but in a later scene, because like it's not super important to show that the device is. Just bonked my elbow on another desk. This setup so claustrophobic. No, here's what I'm going to go ahead and draw this line. All right, we're going to draw this line. Then, ow, I did it again. Boop, 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 boop. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 boops. All right, we're going to draw. We're going to connect the dots real quick. Just real quick. Close enough is good enough in this case. And I'm going to come in and just kind of clean up this outer line a little bit. Then we'll come back and we'll fix our line work and make sure it's good and hermetically sealed. All right. You know why, right? Because it goes in the square hole. That's right. It goes in the square hole. It goes in the square hole. I don't know if everybody out there is familiar with Square Hole Saga. It's the videos of the girl who's like freaking out because the guy's like putting the shapes all in the square hole. And it was totally a bit. Like, people thought it was real, and they were like, "Oh, this is the downfall of society." It's like, dude, no, the whole thing was a bit. It's flipping hilarious. Square Hole Saga. And she's still making good money to this day off of it. I love it. Occasionally she brings it back too. the Square Hall Saga, like during her live streams, like she'd be like, "All right, cool, we're gonna," because she does like reacting to videos and she's really funny about it. But I don't watch it too much because I'm actually not into video reacting stuff. So we're gonna have to put a little bit of a detail here. This is all nice and sewed up. Put some lines there. Cool. And then we're gonna have to connect this. Put some double stitching on this one. There. It's gonna come up here like that. Actually gonna wrap around a little bit, but it's gonna have double stitching. All right, double stitching right there, right there. And of course, here at this base, we're going to go ahead and put stitch across. And then we are going to draw stitch from the middle of this, or from this corner. We'll draw a stitch from here to here. So that's where we're going to reinforce it next. There we go. Cool. Good enough, right? Let me go. See what's going on here. Yo, Flip City, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Come on up. Come on up. Say hello. Yeah, no, for real. You got to show off. Talk about Simperman. I want to know more because I saw something in the picture and I reposted it over there on X because I was like, yo, I see it. And not many people have seen it, which amuses me greatly. And the Simperman advertisement we put out that just cracked me up. Simperman. And then it inspired me for like eSimp. By the power of cuckold. By the power of cuckold. I have the tokens. And it's just like OnlyFans tokens. I don't know what the hell they use. I know they use like just like the MMORPGs, the gotcha MMORPGs. They use their own like in-game currency, shall we say? Right, paid for with real money. Because like the Mastodon said, we have all your can't get a refund. We already have your money, and we're going to spend it on substances. I don't know if I could say the actual line from the song. Don't talk, watch. You came here, watch it. We still have all your money. Nut kick, rock or jingle the seat in front of you. I'm here. I'm sitting there. I'm everywhere, and I will F you up if you make out here. Cut you with a linoleum knife. Do not explain the plot. If you don't understand, then you should not be here. Your money is now our money, and we're gonna spend it on hugs. Yeah, it's only the word's not hugs. Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie. I just so thoroughly enjoy it. So much. Underrated. Plus, you got Neil Peart with the drum solo of life. Don't like it. Walk out. Mighty Morphine Powder Rangers. Yes, that's right. Yo, Chris, slacking off. Okay, we won't say nothing. You be hard at work there. Working it hard. 9 to 5, just like that Dolly Parton song. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. Oh, we got a boop. Yo, what's up, Tim Olson? Welcome to the
Hey,
show, man.
I'm the only one with the guts to come on here besides a few other people.
Yeah, well, uh, leave it leave it open for anybody to kind of come in here and hang out for a little bit. We got about 10, 15 minutes till our next break.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes, you were mentioning the Aqua Teen Hunger Force parody of the Let's Go Out to Them.
Yeah, no, I love. Yeah, let's all go to the lobby, and then Mastodon is there. Only they're like total garbage snacks. Like,
Yeah.
and I was
Yep.
like, I love the symbology. Like, these are the hardcore snacks. That stuff cracked me up.
Spicy gumdrop, and there's
Yeah.
the drummer was a plate.
It
Was a thing of nachos.
Yeah.
Don't bring your babies. Don't watch this. Leave your seat outside.
Run it over after the show.
If I find out you've been selling this on eBay, Satan will break into your house, rain hot acid down your throat, and tear your wife in half. Something like that.
It's like the best, like, don't pirate this movie ever.
Honestly, and the best part is that cartoon never really had a plot, really, but that's what made it work.
Yeah. It was.
You just laughed at it.
It was just a whole bunch of jokes, and it really had no point. Just like a good episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, where it's like, this. You think this is going somewhere, but really, it's just another inconvenience in their inconvenient life.
Or like they'll throw down like something will explode for no reason.
Yeah.
Like the remote.
Yeah, and then they broke up that whole movie into a bunch of episodes and released it as a season.
Did they?
And that's just, yeah. They broke it up into a bunch of episodes and released it as an unofficial season.
Because
they pulled a Futurama.
I remember they did like a movie special, and like the joke where Meatwad goes, and the security guard says, "This is not this is how you don't touch a person."
Yeah. Which is a throwback to their standards and practices episode.
Oh yeah.
Instead of blood, there were rainbows pouring out of people.
Well, yeah. They had there's some episodes they actually took out off rotation that they can't air anymore.
I think that episode was actually titled "Gee Whiz."
Yeah. Oh, have you seen the one where it's supposed to be like where Shake gets black powers because he was bitten by a black person?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
They can't play that anymore, so you have to go on YouTube to watch it.
Yep. No, it has been taken off the official roster. That one was too edgy. And
there was even an episode of Community. They were trying to prevent this fat guy from killing himself, and so they played Dungeons and Dragons, and Chang shows up with black makeup on, face paint.
Yeah.
And that was the whole joke. Is he's just unaware of how inappropriate he is.
Yeah. It was,
Even so Shirley was like, "Are we going to just ignore that hate crime?"
Yeah. Dude, Chang was one hate crime after another.
Or he was always trying to prove that people were racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All while he was trying to like prove that people were racist, and I was like, dude, like if the wokies just knew how hard they were being trolled, right there with that character, because he's.
Well, I mean, Britta was basically a parody of that too. Think about it. She was the worst at everything. She always got things wrong, or. Yeah.
No, and she was the what was her name? Princess Clarabelle from Drawn Together. She was Princess Clarabelle of the group.
I didn't know
really
that.
Was.
Oh, she was, yeah.
Yeah, of that group. Oh, that's right. These pistols. Where is it?
Oh, my favorite joke is when Troy said to her, "No, you're like a fun vampire, and that you don't suck blood, you just suck."
All right, so it actually has the lip comes
You're
down.
you're going from soup to nuts on this character, aren't you?
Well, I want to make sure that the reference art is solid, so that way, because I'm not going to be the only person working on this.
Right.
There will be other people, so I want to make sure that all references are accurate as I can get them. Right.
Yeah, I mean, when I started, I wasn't really that. I kind of had a basic idea, and I kind of like, I figured things out as I was going because sometimes I just like I remember when my first YouTube show I was on. It was Rick Piper's show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had a thing about no cursing, and I was so
Yeah.
nervous. I was so nervous that I kept dropping F-bombs.
Oh yeah, no, he tries to keep it clean over there. You know, he tries to run a family-friendly operation.
But I'm so nervous. I'm like, oh fuck! And he's like, oh damn. But then like Dillard comes on there and he just grills me for like the rest of the interview, and I'm sweating buckets. And I basically had a basic idea of what I wanted the book to be about. And I was just thinking ahead of like one issue at a time. I didn't know anything beyond that issue.
Right.
Kind of like how I had X-Force and I didn't know anything before X-Force 1, and I didn't know what was going to happen after.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm picking up what you're putting down there.
But after that, I kind of went through and I kind of wrote. I took notes. I had notes written down. So when I got interviewed again, I kind of had notes, and sometimes like if I didn't know an answer, I admit that I would kind of BS a little bit because I didn't know the answer to that right away.
Right. Hey, sometimes you got to do that. It's all part of a show, right?
Right.
Just had to go peeking on. I don't have my phone with me today because it is a dying piece of garbage, and
I can't hold the charge. Yeah, by the end of the morning, my thing's down to like.
Well, it didn't charge last night, so unfortunately, it's in the kitchen charging on a better charger because my charger is dying, the phone is dying. Like I got to pull in some work, man, and get this stuff paid for because I went and talked to the guy who cuts my lawn. He's basically my groundskeeper because he also does the trimming and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm putting in 3 Makawara posts. Okinawan punching bag. Of course, you can't say the word Okinawa without Jesse Enkamp coming in and saying in the background, the birthplace of karate.
Jesse who?
Jesse Enkamp. He's the karate nerd.
Oh.
Yeah, he is. He is a karate nerd. He knows a lot about karate, knows several different styles of karate. Yeah. And gets out there, he competes, and whatnot. He does the Ultimate Self-Defense Championship. He scores really good. He hasn't won, but he scored really good on the Ultimate Self-Defense Championship. A lot of his loss of points and stuff like that, because each event is scored, is due to situational unfamiliarity. Like, he's never been in a crazy situation like that. Hold on one second. Yo, what is up? How you doing?
And just when we were having fun, look who shows up.
No, Tim,
That's the real fun.
You were the only brave one, and I had to prove you wrong.
Well, fine, be that way.
Hold on one second. Let me fix something real quick. With the boop in the boop. There we go. What is up? How goes everything in Flip City?
Oh, just constantly working. And so when I have an opportunity to be social for a few minutes, I'll take it.
Absolutely. I loved the Simperman. That was too funny. That got an audible guffaw. Well, Simperman.
I'm happy that we have a little bit of artwork in advance of launching our campaign. So I'm like, okay, we got to practice doing like some kind of hype thing, because we usually just launch a campaign, then let everybody know.
Right.
But yeah, our lead parody artist has sent us 2 pages so far. I think this one's going to be 8 pages.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and he said he'd have us everything by the 16th. So
ooh,
it's close
exciting.
to done. Well, here's something, just because we're talking about him, and I love him so much. His name's Ben Sullivan. He's got a savage sense of humor of his own, and gives us all kinds of surprises in the artwork that he gives us. But something, because I asked Dawn, because Dawn did DM me inviting me to the studio, so that made me feel happy. But I asked him, I said, well, if I'm able to get an artist to come and live draw, because I don't have those skills, can I invite them? And then he thumbs up, and those, just reactions kind of confused me. I'm like, okay, because I had a couple of thoughts also in that DM. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thumbs up, and I'm like, okay, maybe.
Don is a man of few words. Except for when you get him on stream, then he doesn't shut up. I love it. We give each other a hard time over on the studio, and that's like I really enjoy that. That's a fun drawing program. We get to get silly over there.
Yeah, how long's that been going on?
I think he just celebrated episode 30,
and it's once a week.
Yep, once a week.
All right, so a little over half a year.
Yep.
Really not bad, because I mean, don't you guys get up to like 25, 30 live viewers?
Yeah, at a time, yeah. Over the entire evening, we have between 150 and 250 viewers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's really built something. Omer Glitch too. He's been building his channel wonderfully, and so we got the Hump Day show, and that gets over 100 views. Yeah,
that's fantastic. See, I study Omer Glitch and his shameless self promotion, and he basically has it down pat, and nobody seems to be bothered with how much he self promos.
Yeah. Because he's really charming and adorable about it.
I was a shameless self-promoter before it was cool.
Heck yeah! Now you kind of have to be to a degree. It's knowing the social cues and when to insert your product into the conversation. And Omer's he's an expert at reading the room on that.
I'd have to agree.
That's a cultivatable skill, and that I'm impressed. I'm impressed. All right, gotta get these back pockets in there. Gotta have back pockets. So let's zoom out and take a look and see what I'm doing here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and hide our undersketch. So you can see how this is coming out. Ooh, stretch.
You can tell she's really, really, really white. That's why you can't see her.
That's right. This is gear for the Invisible Woman. What was what's her name? From
Sue Storm?
Monster MD.
Oh, Monster MD.
Heidi, that's her name, Heidi. The doctor's assistant.
I haven't read the book.
Oh, dude, no, you're missing out, man. Monster MD's great. And I haven't. I was out of it.
Last, I think.
Yeah, I've been out of the loop for a little while, but I remember back in the day they were talking about a Monster MD Doc Alpha crossover, which I was like, yes, cool. The good doctors together. I think that would be great.
Will be the crossover called Malpractice?
Yeah, right. It should. It should. I think that would be perfect. Right there. Okay, so we got the sweater or the undershirt that comes in right there. Clean up our lines a little bit. Get this across. Oops, that was a messy line. We're just gonna undo all that. And
are you going to watch that Primal Warfare movie when it comes out?
Which one's that one?
It's pretty much dinosaurs in Vietnam.
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
I've seen there's a trailer of it, and I think it's based on a comic book or something.
Dude, that sounds interesting. You know, speaking of stuff that not enough people have heard about, Gemini Crusaders, man, I've got it queued up so that I can go.
Same artist I'm using.
Trailer. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Marinus is awesome. I really love the guy. Good soul.
Yeah,
and
he's
good
using,
creator.
He's using Sid Telis for his book.
Nice. We're going to add some wrinkles there. We're going to have this wrap around. And then we got the additional shoulder padding. That's going to kind of drip over the edge here. So we're going to squish it up a little bit, actually. There we go. So that way I've got the front of the armor coming down right there. I was just squishing down over the corner of the shoulder there. Sometimes I just got to talk my way through the process, so.
Hey, Tank, was it you that was saying that you were back in the day were doing this stuff with a mouse, or was that somebody else?
Oh, that was somebody else. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was doing this with a mouse when I was a kid, but man, I've been using a drawing pen for either analog, but for I've been using one of these crazy drawing pens for, I think here, gosh, almost 20 years. Yeah, I haven't done I still use a mouse though when I'm doing like vector artwork, because that one I'm just basically click, adjust the line, click, adjust the line.
Wow, so you know how to do vectors too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have my
background.
That's a whole
different beast, isn't it?
It is. And most of my artistic background professionally is in graphic design and what do you call it? And in design itself, where what do you call it? Like blueprints, layouts, diagrams.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of work in carpentry and masonry. So that requires heavy diagramming. So that way you get the construction right. Like everything is heavily diagrammed, measured out, all the scale, et cetera, et cetera. All right, there we go. Because we are drawing the Invisible Woman here and her toys. See, now girls can have a real G.I. Joe too.
Exactly what you're looking for.
Right? And in later stories, don't worry. We'll be releasing all the dresses and girly wear, because she's not a no ma'am. She's a yes ma'am. Make the difference. There's so few good female characters out there. Like, they all suck. Not all of them, but I'm just talking about like recently, right? There's so few good female characters out there. And my wife actually helped me develop the character. So that way, it was a good character. Just like with my character, Andre Brazier, who he's a full cyborg, but that he's still a black man, an American at that, an American hero. So I worked with several people in the Black Science Fiction Society to help me make sure that this character was legit and not, you know, so I didn't fall into traps of using tired stereotypes. You know what I mean? No electric powers. That's a joke. But
I was like, is that like a feminine superhero thing?
No, the electric powers, it's a black joke because like every black superhero has electric powers.
Okay.
And generally black people are just like, they're kind of over it. They're like, yeah, whatever, dude. Oh look, another black person with electric powers. That's why what's his name?
Was Aquaman's idea. I said, why don't we just call you Whitefish?
Yeah, no, like for real, like what's his name? Jamie Lee Fox, I think that's his name. When he was Electro in the Spider-Man movie, like people were just like, okay. So can we have other superpowers, please? And I'm like, I can't blame you for that one, man. I can't blame you for that one. That's a valid complaint right there.
Maybe one house can have the power of generating a good credit rating.
Oh my goodness. That would be my neighbor. His credit rating's way better than mine. I just talked to one of my debtors today. I got to come up by the end of the month. I got to come up with $500 for a medical bill.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have 60 days.
It's the VA. I'm one of nearly 500,000 American veterans who is abandoned by the VA. My opinion on the VA is that they suck. They are criminals, and I can't wait till Doge gets their hands on them. Like,
yeah. So
what's
the worst thing you've had to endure through the VA?
They've never properly processed my paperwork. I'm incomplete for over 20 years.
Yeah. Oh,
I started that paperwork before I got out of the Army. Yeah. Ain't that a thing?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm assuming administrators get like really high pay. Yeah.
And
they're
I was
taking
told
3-hour lunches and.
Oh yeah, no, and and they go, oh, there's no racism against white people. I'm like, really? So I guess the elderly Armenian lady who was just having a perpetually bad day, and the young black gentleman about my age who told me that, oh, I'm white, I have a rich family member somewhere who can take care of me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. Like, for real. And the look on my face, my wife immediately grabbed me from underneath my arm in a control posture, right? And got me out of there before I ended up in jail.
Yeah, I mean, also
I was seeing red at that point.
It's so crazy too to be that way to military people who also likely have PTSD and shit. It's like, wow, you got some balls on you.
Now, granted, a lot of my physical ailments aren't service related, and that's fine. I'm not looking for a full handout here. But I was rated a certain percentage disabled by the Army, and the Army doesn't admit to anything. Right? The Army, who does not admit to anything. I know guys who've gotten 100% that on their Army exit paperwork, they are 0% disability rated. Right?
Wow.
And now they get 100%.
So
the Army admitted
how much you're actually disabled.
Yeah. And thanks to George Bush Jr., I'm only eligible for 2 years of that. Because before him, it was as long as the claim was overdue. Yeah. Ain't that a thing? Crazy, huh?
Yeah. Well, we have unlimited funds for illegals, so.
I know.
So there's that.
No, and that's the reason why I have to pay this medical bill, because my medical insurance, because I am, I was like, dude, I'm in the income bracket. I qualify for state assisted medical. Hook me up, because I never go to the hospital. Right?
Yeah.
I'm one of those types that I go to the hospital like maybe once a decade.
Yeah, I'm one of those people as well. I want to avoid doctors at all costs.
Yeah. Well, I normally, when I go see a doctor, and this is a dying breed, sadly, I go to a family practitioner and I just pay it cash out of pocket. They love it when you pay cash, by the way, because that means they're actually going to see their money. If you're paying with insurance, there is a 60% chance that doctor will never see the money.
Really? I didn't know it was that bad.
Oh yeah, no, it's really bad. My stepmother owned a family practice. Now she was a pathologist by trade, and through her continued medical education, she maintained that pathology certification. So she did her education every year on that. Normally, for any kind of general practitioner or specialist, you take about 12 college credits worth of classes every year. She did 18 to 24 to maintain several proficiencies. Basically 6 credits of general and then 6 credits of specialist. Right? She was one hell of a dame, I'll tell you that. And when she was angry at you, she'd let you know. She would remind you about the shit that she went through to get where she got. She graduated UCLA Medical in 1977. There weren't a lot of women doctors at that time. She had to beat out 7,000 guys, had to beat them for that position. Mortal Kombat style. Fatalities all around. Pardon me. And when she was pissed at me for any level of disrespect, she would remind me of that fact. And be like, you give respect where respect has been earned. And it's like, yep, no, yes, ma'am. No, I get it. You're a hard charger.
All right. So you did actually grow up with a strong woman.
Yeah. I grew up both of my mom and my stepmom. And even when my stepmom and when my mom and my stepdad got divorced, like my stepdad's girlfriends were all go-getters. Like one of his girlfriends was an award-winning member of the Directors Guild in Hollywood.
Wow.
Yeah, and I haven't heard from her in a while. Last time I heard, she wasn't doing so hot. But even though my stepdad's passed long ago, I'm still in communication with her. I had strong women in my life that were good members of team family, right?
Yeah,
which is one of the reasons.
So basically, you were raised to make strong women characters.
I have a lot of good examples. I got strong men characters. I got strong women characters. I got weak men and weak women. I have devious men and devious women. We have it all. We have it all in this story. I had good influences in my life. I'm lucky. I'm lucky in that regard. I always thought it was weird that I would be counted lucky in this. I'm like, this is what it should normally be.
Right.
Which is why I'm so fiercely a perfectionist on being a parent myself. Yeah, I've got a lot of experience under the belt now too. So,
hey,
boy.
So, how much school time because I know you homeschool. How much do they have? Because you often hear the difference between like how many hours kids spend in public school versus homeschooling.
In actual class time, between 3 and 5 hours.
Oh, that's a lot.
At least an hour to an hour, usually about an hour and a half a day will be spent. About at least an hour will be spent on theory, And then the rest of the time will be putting into practical application that which you have learned. So philosophically treating every point of data earned like you would practice for vocabulary, right? So vocabulary, what do? You learn the word, you look it up in the dictionary, you use each one of the definitions in a sentence as an example in order to cement it. So think about that like mathematically. We practice differential fractions while we're in the kitchen when we do it in our head. Okay. And we use teamwork to help keep track of the numbers so that everybody's learning, even the youngest one who really only understands basic, because she's 8. So she understands basic addition, subtraction, and basic multiplication, division. But I also start them on negative integers. As soon as they're ready to start learning numbers, we learn about negative numbers because you're above the water and you're below the water. So that's our first example we use because that's something that we can easily comprehend, right? Right. It's above the water, it's below the water. And so, I really get into this stuff. My wife went to school to learn how to educate. She wanted to be a teacher. Uh-oh, I hear something. You know what? We're going to take a little 10-minute break real quick because I hear the alarm system going off, aka my dog. Yeah. That means the package has arrived. I'm gonna make you both big. You guys gonna hang out while I'm hiding? No, I'm gonna take off, but I'll probably pop back in chat at some point. Awesome. Make sure you drop in your links. Okay. Sorry, my ear really itches. I'm gonna go grab the little baby ear cleaner while I'm on break. But dude, it's always great to hang out. Always. Yeah, same to you. Thank you for putting the link up and letting me be social for a few. Absolutely. Holy moly, it's Doc Blaylock. Did somebody call the doctor? Doctor. What's up, Doc? Give me the news. I was just hanging out with him a couple hours ago. Oh, he's a great guy, isn't he? All right, folks. I'm going to go ahead and hide us, and we'll take off here for a minute. Actually, you know what? We're going to call it for the day. I just looked at the time. Thank you, Christy, for hanging out. See you later, Dave. Always a good time. And I'm going to show the audience here real quick. We're going to go ahead and hide all of our previous pencils and stuff. And we can see our gear right there. So it's looking pretty clean. I like it. That's good reference for us. It's not too difficult to draw. I need to make these holsters a little longer, but that's okay. I can fix that here in a second. So actually, they need to be taller. They need to be up higher because I'm looking at the tops and it's like, ooh, they're a little low. Okay, so I'm going to get that fixed up. And then this will be a done deal. I'll have to color on it and be getting back to other stuff. The stuff that I'm going to be working on while you can't see it, unfortunately. That's a shame. That's one of the reasons why I got to cut this short. I got to get this stuff done so that the creators can wow you with their creations that I am just helping out on. So everybody out there in TV land, make sure you check the description. Click on all those links below. Give them some love. And until next time, stay magnificent.